Okay, so from here, I've taken my opponent's back. I've successfully gotten them to the ground. Okay, so now what I'm going to look to do is always try and get them, especially in no-gi, get them to the side where my head is on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to try and get them over to the underhook position here. Okay, so where my arm is nearest to the mat. So when I'm here, I'm always looking to have my head on my opponent's shoulder, like a parrot. Okay, so my head's going to be nice and close on their shoulder, like a parrot on their shoulder. So just a way to remind you of keeping your head close. So I don't like to always keep my hooks square to my opponent's hips. I don't feel like this is the best way of controlling, but obviously we get points here in tournaments. So I'm going to try and switch my hooks to the outside here. So it doesn't really matter what you do with your feet here. You can cross your ankles, okay? As long as they're not in the center here, they can't attack a foot lock. You can take them off on a diagonal. So I'm always controlling this shoulder and this far hip, so it's opposites of each other. So it's diagonal control. Okay, so this will stop him from turning away from me and keep a good control, so I'm always able to track my opponent. So when I'm here, I like to just clasp my feet together so that I can quickly move to look to catch arms and things like that, okay? Or you can cross your feet. My head is going to stay nice and close, and this arm is an underhook. So it's stopping my opponent from getting their body to the mat because this arm is underneath. Okay? So from here, what I'm going to look to do is tie up the arms. So my partner's always going to be fighting to block the choke, okay? So what I'm going to do is, before I look to choke or commit fully to the choke, okay, I'm going to look to tie up his arms first, because right now it's 2 arms versus 2 arms, okay, it's a fair fight. So if I manage to tie up one of his arms, now it's just 2 arms versus 1, okay? I can control this wrist down and look to attack. So the way that I'm going to do that first of all is look to take straight jacket grips. So his hands are coming up to catch mine. I'm going to circle my hands, control the wrists, and now rather than pulling tight, I'm going to push his elbows outwards, okay, so I can make a little chicken wing here. So now my heel, okay, because my feet are on the outside rather than square, so over here, my leg can be dexterous and hit over nice and easy, okay, so there's nothing blocking my leg. So as I protrude this elbow, I pull my heel up high, okay? If I feel like he's high up on my body and I can't reach, I'm just gonna shuffle him lower, like so. Okay, so right now he's a little too high. If you're not super mobile, this may be difficult for you. So just push your opponent down slightly. So drive your foot down into the hip, push the hands down, and now it should be easier to get your heel into the elbow. I always try and aim my heel as deep as possible into his chest, rather than just aiming for the elbow. Just because usually when I aim for the elbow, I may miss, okay? If I overhit my step, then I can drag back, okay, like so. So I'm gonna keep my foot attached to his rib cage so he can't circle this arm out. You can always cross your feet here. I just like to have the sole of my foot attached to his ribs so I can make sure it blocks the space. Now I'm gonna control this wrist. So I go 2 arms on the wrists. This arm's gonna straighten out, okay, so it's a battle of strength here where we're fighting arms up. I'm just gonna lock my arm out to prevent him from pulling his arm up high. Okay, so now it's like a pillar keeping his arm straight. It's not a strength battle anymore. This hand is then free to come up and look to start attacking chokes, which we can go into more detail later on.